Hello, Mark Anthony. How are you? Hello, Sam and Joe. How are you? Great to see you guys here. Just give it a couple minutes as we get some other people joining. But feel free to submit any questions that you have. Love the hearts. Thank you so much. And I also have some questions from the last time that I didn't get to. So people submitted questions in advance, and because the live was such a rapid fire experience, I didn't get the opportunity to get through them all. Hello, John. That's my hubby. How's everybody doing? Hi. Hi, Jerry. How are you? Hi, Alec Jennifer. How are you? Hi, guys. How are you doing? How's your day going so far? Let me know what's up. Anybody else experiencing like intense headache? I really think this is an Ascension symptom because it's been going on for an entire week and it's all at the front of my head. This horrible pain, this horrible headache. And I feel like it's third eye related and possibly crown chakra or pineal gland, because my third eye, like the headache is all in behind my eyes, all in the front of my forehead. It's so awful. Let me know if anyone is experiencing any like headaches that have been going on for a really long time. Hi, Rainbow Warrior of Light. Hi, Danica Doucette. Sama Joe says, yep, in the forehead and crown. Yeah, like right all at the front of the head. And it's just awful. It's been terrible. Hi, Breathe In Deep. Hi, Scott Murphy. How are you? We're talking about Ascension symptoms. What's everybody feeling right now? Because I've been having the same headache every single day for a week. And it doesn't matter what I do. Hi, Jared. How are you? We're talking Ascension symptoms. So this headache has been insane. I've tried meditating, clearing it, napping, having a hot bath. I've tried Advil. Like I've tried everything. I don't even know. I think it's upgrades, right? When you get all of this extra pressure going on, it's extra energy in that area. And I feel like it's a lot of third eye stuff for me lately. And Rainbow Warrior of Light says they've had bad headaches as well. Yeah, definitely. Hi from the Soul podcast. How are you? We're just talking Ascension symptoms. Pop in the comments what you guys are feeling right now. I'm feeling this last week, at least, it's been a full week of headaches. And then before that, I was feeling like a lot of exhaustion and dizziness. Jared's been having that as well, the headaches likely. Yeah, terrible, terrible headaches. And there's no like weather related reason for it. Hello, Nathaniel, how are you? Spicy food. Okay, Breathe In Deep says spicy food can help open up the sinus and head. I'm gonna try some hot sauce. Do you think that might help with the headache? That would be amazing. Sinus pressure, allergies, and exhaustion from the Soul podcast has been experiencing all of those things. Yes, it's been so rough. I know that caffeine is supposed to really help with migraines, but I got off of caffeine and I'm all decaf now, so I can't even turn to that. So anyway, you guys, pop where you're from in the comments. What, are you guys from the US? Is there any fellow Canadians on here? Hello, Organic Medical. How are you? Good to see you here. Just pop in the comments where you're from, and we're talking Ascension symptoms just to start out while we give people a chance to join. Oh, Vegas, Breathe In Deep. That's cool. Is it fairly cold there? Organic Medical is from Toronto. Ah, fellow Canadian. Very nice. I'm just like north of Peterborough. I don't know if you know where Peterborough is, Organic Medical, but it's like maybe half an hour north of that. So in a country kind of rural area. Hello, Erin Mo. How are you? Sama Joe's from Alberta. Jerry's from London. Boise, Idaho for Jared. Ontario, Canada. Another Ontario. That's 3 of us on here. Represent. That's awesome, guys. Okay, so pop your questions if you have new ones in the comment section below. I felt really guilty last time because I did not get to the list of questions. So these are from the question box in my stories where I've given people the opportunity to ask their questions in advance. So we're going to try to get to more of those this time, but I'm definitely going to be keeping my eye on your chat here and answering these as well. From the Soul Podcast says, at the same time, a lot of channeled messages are coming through in my light language. It's been quite beautiful. Wow, that's beautiful. Learning to surrender and staying in alignment with my soul purpose. Love from California. Oh, what a beautiful place to exist. I would love to go to California. All of that sun. We get sun not so much during the winter here in Canada, in Ontario, but our summers are beautiful, like so hot and so beautiful. Okay, so without further ado, I'm going to hop onto a question here. So last time we talked about archangels, we talked about walk-ins, we talked about, oh my gosh, I don't even know, so insane. The Galactic Guidance Live went over an hour, so Instagram would not let me post it, which was silly. So I actually reposted it on YouTube. If you're looking for it, if you submitted a question and want to see if it was answered, go check out YouTube. Make sure you subscribe for new videos every Sunday, Monday, Wednesday. So this question that I want to answer here was from a follower on Instagram, and they were asking, how do I know what I am? Like, how do I know where I'm from? How do I know what I am? So my favorite answer to this, so this is obviously like they want to know their starseed origins, right? My favorite answer to this is always the truth. You've got to like zoom out of the boxes that we put ourselves in and a lot of the labels. And the truth is that you are an eternal soul. You are a beautiful soul from source, as are animals, as is every single being, human or galactic, angels. We are all souls from source. And we have this soul journey, this long soul journey, and dotted all along the soul journey are incarnations. And what does incarnation mean? Incarnation means a lifetime. So you can have lifetimes on Pleiades, on Sirius, on Andromeda, here on Earth, obviously. And so this is why you're going to resonate with more than one starseed origin. Your starseed origins are your other lifetimes. That's all that they are. Hi, Purple Dragon Illustration. Hi, Jay. Thanks for joining. We're talking about starseed origins right now. They are past lives, parallel lives. They are lifetimes that the soul incarnates as. So right now you're an earthling. You're an eternal soul inside of an earthling. But what were you before? It's the things that you're going to resonate really strongly. So many people resonate with the Pleiadians. They have Pleiadian guides. They feel Pleiadian. Absolutely. And if you saw my last video, my second last video on YouTube, it was called Pleiadians, Doctors, and Scientists. This was about the program that they're using to get souls ready for Earth. It's incredible the kind of technology that they're using right now to simulate an Earth-like energy up in Pleiades, which is like 5th, 6th dimension, right? Now, most of us have a stopover on Pleiades right before Earth. That is because it's close. So we're not going to have like an angelic lifetime in like 12 to 14th dimensions and then come and pummel down into Earth density. What a shock to the system that would be. And I do not think that it would be a very successful lifetime because you would not have your bearings and you would not be able to like get on your Earth mission and on your soul purpose path in such a confident way. It would be really difficult, right? So we kind of downgrade, right? So we angelic lifetime, then we downgrade to like maybe an Arcturian lifetime, a Mantis lifetime, an Avalon lifetime, like as a Fae or a dragon or a unicorn, something like that. And we're coming down, we're coming down. Right before Earth, most of us choose to do Pleiades. And why would we do that? Obviously, because they are just right here, 5th, 6th, and we're just right here, 3rd, right? So it's not that big of a dip down. And so that is why on Pleiades, they specifically have these programs to get souls ready for Earth. Get ready for that Earth incarnation. And it is a energetic simulation of the 3rd dimension. So you're this Pleiadian now, knowing that Earth is your next life. You step into this training simulation. Now you know what it's going to feel like. You can prepare yourself. You can, you know, they probably go in on a regular basis and kind of like build up their feeling for it. And also you would learn how to hold the higher frequency of 5D while being submerged in this 3D simulation. So their technologies there are just beautiful, just incredible. And then the way that they use them for ascension, for good, for these soul missions is so powerful. So you probably resonate with Pleiades. Most people on Earth do, because it happened right before this Earth lifetime, in preparation, in those programs, in those simulations. I've done readings for people that were on the other side of the simulation. They were the healers and the doctors and the scientists in their parallel lives, past lives, creating these programs, walking souls through the process, helping them. And then all of a sudden they ended up here too. Maybe they thought, you know what? Earth needs help. I know how to do this. I'm going to go down there and give it my best. So amazing programs on Pleiades right now. So that question, how do I know what I am? You know what? Have a past life reading done. Either you can do your own past life regression through meditation, or you can find someone like myself who offers these past parallel life readings and find out more. So you're not going to find out everything, because what if you've had hundreds of lifetimes, thousands of lifetimes, right? But what's going to come through is the most important ones for you to know about now. So your team sends through to whoever is doing your reading, the channeler that's doing it, but I specifically ask them to send through the lifetimes that are most important for you to know about now. Like, what is a lesson that you're dealing with now? Where's the connection from your past life, your parallel life? And they send through the lifetimes where like either the healing is needed the most, or you're experiencing similar lessons and experiences, so you can put together those pieces. And the more you do these kinds of past life exploration, the more you get to know yourself. And like for me, it's just been so incredible to get to know these alternate sides of myself and really see like, and usually part of my reading, if you get the complete cosmic reading, is also the spirit guide messages. And those really help you get to know yourself too. Because who knows you better than your team? Nobody, right? Hi, Benergil. Thanks for joining. Hi, Patman70. Thank you for joining. Hello, Elemento3. Thank you for joining. Okay, so the next question that came through the question box in my stories was someone asking, this is cute. Someone was asking, will I meet my true love this year? What a cheeky little question. But I have a great answer for you. So first of all, fortune telling isn't real, okay? So the whole fortune teller, all of that, it's not real, because free will is always splitting off in all of these alternate directions. So by the time that fortune teller was done with you in that session, your future already changed, right? Hi, Andrew Rowe. Thanks for joining. We're talking about, someone had asked the question, will I meet my true love this year? And I thought that was a really cute, cheeky question. And I'm just talking about how you cannot foretell the future, because timelines are shifting at all times. We as free will beings can change our minds like that. So whatever future this fortune teller or whoever foretells for you is going to change instantly. As soon as you get out of that session, you're already on something else. So what you can do is receive guidance. So you can receive guidance through things like oracle cards, or getting messages from your guides. And what they will do is they will tell you the path that you're on. Okay, here's the path that you're on. This is like the future probabilities coming your way. If you don't like this, it's time to shift. If you do like it, go all in, right? Hi, Gavin Ashley. Nice to see you here. And what else did I have to say about that? Yes, free will and choices. And also everything depends on your inner work. So if you are trying to attract a romantic partner in their highest truth, in their highest self, and somebody that's like working on themselves, doing the work spiritually, then you need to emulate that. You are going to attract to you a reflection of what you are. So make sure that whatever it is that you want in a partner, you are those things. If you want somebody who's really good at communication, then you better start working on your communication. And this goes for friends as well. Be the friend you want to attract. Be the person you want. Be the romantic partner that you want to attract. Hi, Licky Or. Thanks for joining. Interesting name there. Patman lost audio. Can everybody else hear me okay? Is everybody else able to hear me? Somebody let me know. I'm going to keep going till I hear. Hopefully everybody else can hear me okay. I don't know what happened with Patman 70's audio. But please, yes, can hear me? Thank you, Andrew. Okay, perfect. So another thing that I wanted to say just quickly about like love and romance, what really worked for me is that, thank you, Jerry. Yes, everyone can hear me. Perfect. So here's a really amazing tip about attracting a high vibrational partner. Create a list for yourself, okay? Create a list for yourself about the qualities that you want in a partner and list them in order of importance, right? So if you want somebody who is spiritually minded and that's the most important thing to you, that should be at the top of the list, okay? Spiritually minded, honest, passionate, driven, ambitious. I'm trying to remember all the things I put on my list. What else? Funny, sweet. Like some women want like, I don't know. Really, the physical things didn't matter too much to me because it's the soul within, right? And you're going to fall in love with the soul within. You think it's all about the physical stature, but you know what? Ugly people on the inside, it's going to come through. Beautiful people on the inside is what's going to come through. But if you make this list of 10 things at least of what you want to attract in a partner, put it somewhere. I put it on my fridge. I look at it all the time. And then you know what I do? I become all of those things. You become the list of this dream partner. And you know why? You know why. Because you're going to attract who you are. So really you're setting up for yourself the kind of person that you want to be, becoming that person, and then attracting that. So this list is so powerful. If you're looking for a romantic partner, if you're looking for a friend, whatever you're looking for, make a list, keep it somewhere where you can see it regularly, and then you emulate those qualities. And gosh, it's going to be so fast that that person's going to come into your life so fast. Okay, it looks like I have a question here. Let me see if I can figure it out. So I have a question from Silver Linings. How can we further the connection with our starseed family? This is a fantastic question. And I want to see here if I have this one written down. Okay, so what I would definitely suggest, the most powerful thing to do. Hi, Kaylin, Chloe, thanks for joining. We're talking about how to connect and deepen the relationships with your starseed family, which is really like your spirit team, right? It's your soul group. Everybody know what a soul group is? It's this group of people that you incarnate with. Most times, you don't all incarnate at once. Some stay behind to be guides. You kind of switch out, but a lot of you incarnate together, like your parents, your siblings, your closest friends, your long-term romantic relationships. Those are all part of your soul family or soul group, whichever one, right? People that make a real impact on you in your life. These are all included in that. And the way to deepen the connection with them is to make time for it. That's really the easiest thing, is just make the time for it. How often are you chatting with them? And when you're talking to your spirit team, it should not be this stiff, like serious, professional, like that's not how it should be. It should be very casual, very friendly, very open. Be yourself, and whatever that looks like, if that's funny, quirky, weird, they want it. They want it all. And the more you are yourself, the more they're going to be themselves with you. And I'll tell you right now, spirit is so funny. They are so funny. They are hilarious. My team, including high angels like Archangel Raphael, Archangel Michael, they're funny. They totally understand that laughter and humor is super high vibrational, and it is an awesome way to raise your vibration and to make others feel at home and comfortable. And what a great way to impact the world too, right? So they're always teasing me, making fun of me. We laugh together. It's so beautiful. So keep that in mind. So you're going to make time to connect with your team and your starseed family. You're going to be yourself, not be so stiff and serious. And then you can meditate to receive. So you're talking to them hopefully all the time. Like you can be chatting at all times. But when are you making time to listen? Because a busy mind will not hear. Clairaudience is very subtle, especially at the beginning. You need to like clear your mind and really tune in to hear what they're saying, right? So make sure that you are being a good listener and making time to like sit in that silence and receive those answers. And the more that you do that, the stronger your clairaudience, your psychic gifts will get, and it won't be so hard. You'll be able to hear them as you're going about your day, right? It's tuning into their specific frequency, practicing, and getting used to it. And then also use their names. Once you get their names, like if you have a reading with me and you get the names of your guides, or if they tell you their names and you know that that's what they are, then use their names often. Call them in by using their names, right? Last tip on this, on communicating with your team and your starseed family, is 3 crystals for you to try. Clear quartz, selenite, such a strong good one, and then a really cool one is called spirit cactus. You can also it's also called spirit quartz or cactus quartz, and it's a spiky little crystal. It's got all these little spikes all over it. It's really good amplifier for clairaudience. So it's got 2 names, either spirit quartz or cactus quartz, and then also of course the clear quartz and the selenite. All right, I'm gonna check in with the chat here and see what everyone's saying. Kaylin Chloe says, I'm having fairies and gnomes giving me messages. That means you've had a lifetime in Avalon. And I freaking love Avalon. That is like my favorite place to incarnate, or at least one of them. The elemental realm of Avalon was started on Earth during a golden era period, just like Lemuria, just like Atlantis, Avalon. So if you've seen any information, and if you haven't, I have a post on this describing this very well, but it's called the Procession of the Equinoxes. It's a 24,000 to 26,000 year cycle where Earth goes through a golden age and then comes back into a dark age and then goes back up into this golden era, dark ages. It's a cycle, right? We're on our way up, obviously. You can see the ascension, we're on our way up. At the height of that golden era, there's a very powerful evolution that happens to whatever beings are on Earth at that time and to their societies. And this is when things like Atlantis happen. Free energy, the technology, like kind of like what we see on Pleiades, intense amounts of like understanding where you're putting together the technology and the spirituality and really advancing yourself. So Avalon was one of those eras on Earth. As Earth comes up to the top of that precession cycle, as it starts to go back into the dark ages, it can no longer support those high vibrational societies that it created. And so they go off and exist in alternate timelines. So Atlantis is not gone, it is just in an alternate parallel timeline. So is Avalon, so is Lemuria. If you want to reincarnate on Atlantis, all is not lost. It is still available to you. It's just in this alternate parallel lifetime. Hello, Moon Magic Priestess. Thank you so much for joining. Hello, Stephen Rock. Thank you so much for joining. Okay, so somebody else says licky or liquor. Is that supposed to be liquor? Licky or my best friend understands me on the deepest levels. Is your best friend incarnated or is it on your spirit team, on your spirit guide? Because my best friend is my spirit guide, Amy, which is kind of funny. Okay, so next question that I have here from the question box is, can our energy repel others from communicating with us? What do you think? Can our energy repel others from communicating with us? Yes, absolutely it can. Because people feel our energy. Okay, so your aura is this egg-shaped energetic field all around you. It goes out up to 25 feet in all directions around you. People feel that, right? They absolutely feel where you're at, right? So that is why people always say confidence is the most attractive thing in any relationship, friendship, or whatever. Because confidence, it tells you feel from the person. You're not feeling the desperation. You're feeling someone who is comfortable in their own skin, who's obviously knows themselves and is kind of just, living their best life, right? So confidence is key. And how do you get to confidence? Confidence comes through knowing yourself. You need to know who you are. You need to put in the work. This is meditation, journaling, reading about spiritual awakenings. Read good books. Surround yourself with good energy, because everything that you take in, whether that be entertainment, food, drink, social media, it all has a frequency and it's all affecting you. So be very careful what you allow into your frequency, especially when you're going through a spiritual awakening. Surround yourself with the energy that you want to become. So either somebody that's at the same level of you or even a little bit further, right? Okay, and the next question I had written down, again, this is from the question box in my stories, was somebody wanted daily self-care routines to help with anxiety. Hi, Awakened Gateway. It's so nice to see you here. Beautiful. Okay, so the question again was daily self-care routines to decrease anxiety. Earlier on in this live, I mentioned to you guys how I had ditched caffeine. That was huge for me. We do not realize how much it amps us up. And if you have anxiety, try it. Just try getting rid of the caffeine. Tone it down to only 1 cup if it's coffee, whatever you have a day, and then half, and then slowly get off of it, right? It's a gentle way to do it. And then be careful, because caffeine is hidden in things like teas and different things. So just be careful once you're off of it to keep it clean. It's made such a difference for me with the anxiety. And then also, it's the simplest solutions that are the most powerful. So stretch your body. So much energy gets trapped in us. We need to stretch, especially our hips, our joints. Stretch every night before bed. Take 10 minutes and stretch your body. This will decrease anxiety huge. Of course, meditation, of course. I'm always going to recommend meditation because it's changed my life. And it doesn't have to be difficult. It can be 10 or 15 minutes, 3 to 5 times a week as a minimum. If you just do that, you are literally going to change your life. And why wouldn't we, right? If it's that simple. And for me, I always recommend for meditation not to do guided meditations unless you're looking for a specific experience. Like I have a guided meditation on my YouTube channel to meet your soul family and your counsels. Well, yeah, then you need the guidance. Or if you're doing a past life regression, something like that. But your daily meditations, just make it music with no lyrics, because then it allows spirit to come through and you'll start to hear. Your clairaudience is going to kick up by doing that. So, don't distract your mind with lyrics and experience meditations all the time. Just try straight music sometimes. And then just remember how important meditation is for connecting to your creator. Source is your origination point. You were created there. Every time you connect through meditation, that beautiful light and energy of source, it refuels you. It's like refueling a vehicle. Like you need that, right? And it's going to refuel you with what? Peace, light, and love, because those are all things that source is. So that's really going to help you with with the anxiety as well. And then journaling and fresh air. Really simple things, right? Very simple. Okay. An incarnated friend. So your best friend, Licky Orr, says their best friend is incarnated and they understand them so well. Do you know how fortunate you are to have such a friend? That is so hard to find. Starseed souls are intentionally spread out around the world so that we can affect as much of the planetary grid as possible. So because of that, you'll see a starseed placed here, and then a starseed placed here, and then like very spread out, right? Because there's way less of us than there is everyone else. So we are intentionally spread out to help affect as much of the collective consciousness as possible as well, right? So for me, like, I'm in a rural area, so the population isn't very high. So like just me does like this huge area, right? So there aren't a whole lot of people like me in my area to connect with. So I hope you know how like blessed you are, and treat that friend beautifully. Kaylin Chloe says, being vegan has changed me. Yes, a vegan diet is, it's very high vibrational because when you measure meat and the different things that you would not be eating, and this isn't judgment, this is just a measurement on the scale. Everything can be measured. Everything has a frequency. Meat is quite dense. However, people that do eat meat, it's fine. You can still, it's not going to take away from your spirituality at all. Being vegan is not a prerequisite. However, you should take into consideration, where is your meat coming from? Because if you're getting your meat from factory farming or something like that, then the energy in that meat is pure terror, pure agony, anxiety, all of that, because that's what the animal felt. Whatever that animal felt, whatever kind of life they had, is in it. It stays inside of it, and then you put it in your body and you ingest that. Like, don't put that in your body unless it's like, free range, homegrown pastures, all of that. Good life needs to have a good life. And then on top of that, you can bless your food if you're worried about, like, lately I've been on a kick of like unbelievable carbs and sugar. I don't know what's wrong with me. I can't get enough bread, and I can't get enough candy, and I can't get enough chocolate, and I'm disgusting. So I need to be like really like considering, okay, do I need to surrender to this because it's an ascension symptom? Or, what's going on with me? So I've been like trying to bless my treats, I guess, as I'm having them. Purple Dragon Illustration says, that's true. It helped me with my anxiety. I'm so glad. I'm so glad. Stephen Rock says, pranayama breathing is beautiful. That is such a, yes, breath work. Oh my gosh, thank you for saying that. How perfect is that for anxiety? Alamanto 3 says, wow, thank you. All I ever do are guided ones because ADHD. And I totally get that. At the beginning of spiritual journeys, a lot of people rely on the guided meditations, but it does not give you the same experience of clairaudience and clairvoyance. So when you kind of are ready to set that aside, you're going to see your psychic gifts coming online, because that eyes closed meditative time, and you can still have your soft music, but no lyrics. It's going to, like, once the monkey mind ends, give it a few minutes for your mind to wrap up the day, close all the open tabs, 5-10 minutes. And then all of a sudden it's like, oh, beautiful peace. And you'll start like visualizing things yourself, like in the future goals that you want. That's so powerful for manifesting. And you'll start to see like your team and your angels, like just tempting trying little connections with you. And that's where it all begins. And it's so beautiful. Likior says, can dancing be a kind of medicine? Oh yes, absolutely. There are so many people on Instagram that love to dance, and I'm here for it. There is someone that has built an entire business around ecstatic dance. Like, just so cool, right? So dancing is like, it would be like stretching, I would think, like release. It's release, and it's also expression. Like you're expressing your divine self. For me personally, I do that with singing. I love to sing, and I always say that singing is my church. Like, it's my way of connecting and honoring the divine with that gift. But dancing would be no different. Hello, Bracco Vanessa. Nice to see you. Hello, Sunny Yoga Berlin. Thanks for joining. Hello, Syrian Starseed 27. Hello, Rowinia. How are you doing, Rowinia? Good to see you again. Okay, so drop your questions in the chat. I'm going to move on to the next one because, like I said, I felt so bad I didn't answer them all last week. So the next one, oh, this was such a good one. Animals, after your animal or your pet passes, are you still connected? I was so moved by this question that I filmed an entire video about it, coming soon on YouTube. Make sure you're subscribed. And it's called Spirit Animals and Pets. So yes, animals and pets are a part of your soul group, your soul family, their family. And you'll find that the same ones will reincarnate with you multiple times. And a lot of people know because you'll have a pet as a kid, like in your childhood, and then years will pass and you'll get a pet as an adult and you'll be like, why is this so familiar? Like the way that they look at me, the feeling I get, their mannerisms, their personality, the way that they show affection, the way that they want to be held, like it's eerily similar. And then you'll have a look in that pet's eyes and you'll just know, because the eyes are the window to the soul. And so you have a look in your cat or your dog or your horse or your pet's eyes, and you will see a soul. An eternal soul is in there watching you, wise as can be, and a part of your soul family, your soul group, or you would not have that pet. And that is why there's always weird circumstances around getting pets. They either come out of nowhere and they find you, or you went to go pick out, say there was a litter. Like this happened for me many times, both my cat, one cat and dog. You pick out a pet through like photos, and then you go there and it's a whole other one that you end up taking home. They're there for you, they're waiting for you. So yes, a whole video coming on this soon, and it's so cool. Sight Veiler, thank you for joining, nice to see you. Rowinia says she wondered if her current dog was her old dog reincarnated. You wouldn't even be wondering that if it wasn't. Like, what made you wonder that? What is that dog doing that's reminding you? Or is it the eyes? It's something, right? That is so cool. Okay, and then also about the animals is that I personally have experienced this. So I had a cat as a child named BC, which stood for Battle Cat. Was anybody else a huge He-Man fan? He-Man and She-Ra, do you remember? The He-Man and She-Ra cartoons. I was in love with He-Man. Like, I would dream about him. He was my everything. And I would actually just dream about him just like carrying me around, because I was young and I didn't know what any of that was, but he would just scoop me up and carry me around in my dreams. And it was so, I would swoon over him. So he had this cat named Battle Cat, and it was this like huge tiger. So I got this black and white cat, and of course that's what I named him. And he was like so unique, so unique. He was his own person, his own personality. And his eyes were really, really beautiful green, really special. And I held him in this certain way on like my hip. And he would always put me to bed when I was a kid. Like, he would come and lay in bed with me until I fell asleep, and then he'd leave. Like, he'd always put me to sleep. And then as an adult, I got my beautiful cat Gus, and he is 1000% BC come back. It's crazy. It's in his eyes. It's in the way he looks at me. It's in the way he connects with me, like with his movement, with his he's very vocal and he talks, like, so cool. So video coming up soon about spirit animals and our pets reincarnating with us. I go into more personal descriptions, and you get to meet my little babies as well. So Princess of Power, Kaylin Chloe. Absolutely, Princess of Power, He-Man. And She-Ra, they have like a new She-Ra like series on Netflix, and it's anime. Like, put my two favorite things together, anime and She-Ra. It doesn't get any better than that. Okay, so here was a really big question from someone who had a reading from me, and I really wanted to address this because it was definitely could feel serious to someone. So the question was, what if I don't resonate with my reading? Like, what if the past lives or the parallel lives that come through, I don't feel that way? Like, it's not resonating. What then? So the past lives and the parallel lives that are coming through are buried deep, deep within your soul memories. So what's on top of that that's keeping it from you? What layers are on top of that pure soul memory? Healing likely needs to be done there, right? So specifically, if it's a traumatic lifetime, then that's hard. Like, the soul, you don't maybe even want to remember some of it. I know personally how difficult it can be to go through, like, you work through your whole childhood, right? You heal all of that. It takes years. And then before you know it, these past lives are coming up that need just as much attention and healing. So I would definitely say that there are energetic or emotional blocks if you're not feeling that, because what comes through is from your team. They're not going to give you something that isn't you. Like, it's coming from the people that know you the best and the souls that know you the best. And they're also giving you the lifetimes that they think that you should know about. So maybe that is actually an indicator to you for you to do a little bit more work on unearthing that lifetime. So you could read the past life account and then meditate on it. You could talk to the person that you were. Like in my readings, I tell you what you look like, what you're wearing, what your name was, who was around you, what you were doing, the themes of that life, and how they are affecting you now. So you have the information to work with. Call on your parallel self, the name, the way you would with a guide, right? So in my most traumatic lifetime, my name was Avia. And so if I want to connect with her, I talk to her like she's like another person outside of myself, because in a way it is like it's a separate incarnation and a separate role. So talk to them, use their names, work through, build the relationship. It's no different than your spirit guides and your galactic family, to build those relationships. Make the time, meditate, use their names, use the crystals I mentioned earlier, and build that connection. It is so important to connect to those aspects of yourself, especially when healing is needed. So I would really recommend, you went to the trouble to get the reading. Don't just be like, I don't feel that, and discard it. Work with the information. It's your next layer. It's your next spiritual layer of work. So that's cool, because you know where you're headed, right? You've kind of been given the answer before you do the work. So do the work and really connect with that answer. Hello, Androvax. Thank you for joining. Hello, Gemini Healer. Thank you for joining. Let's see if we have any more questions here. You can submit them here as well. I do have one from Andrew Rowe. He's asked, any guidance to improve my business even more? Thank you in advance. So yes, absolutely. Everything is frequency. Everything, including your business, especially your business. So the frequency begins within your body, within your soul. So it's in here, right? And then everything that you do, everything, that it comes out. So relationships, your business, creative time, like anything that you do creatively, everything, like anything. You want to buy like a new bicycle. That frequency that you have inside of you, your average, right? Because we're all an average. Your frequency is the average of your beliefs about yourself, your beliefs about the world and others, your thoughts and your emotions. So your emotions, your thoughts, and your beliefs, all of that creates frequencies. And then the average of those frequencies is what you're shooting out there. So how do you feel on average? Not you had a really good day and you think everything should change, but is that your set point, right? So I often share in my YouTube videos that vibrational scale, right? So the frequency of there's neutrality, then there's acceptance, then there's the good stuff like love and abundance and all that. Look at one of those scales and be honest with yourself about where you're at. And once you get where you want to be, maintain that. Like treat that like a precious gift. Maintain it with a daily spiritual routine. You need to have a routine in place. If you can't do it every day, like for me, I aim to do it every day, but in all honesty, it's more like maybe 4 or 5 times a week. So if you aim for every day, you'll get into that 3 to 5 times a week, which I would say should be the minimum. And the daily spiritual routine is your foundation. Everything rises from that foundation. So whenever you have a question like, where is my abundance at? Where is my business at? Where is my romantic partner at? All of that, look at your foundation. What do you have as a foundation right now? Because your whole life rises from that, right? So that's just like the example of the tree with the roots. However deep your roots go is how far you can rise and what you can achieve. This is the same thing. So a daily spiritual routine. What's important to you? I've told you what I do. I stretch, I meditate, and I journal. And if I feel like I want a little alterations or something different, I'll like pull cards, or I will do something creative. I love to be creative. So I'll like write something, I love writing poetry, or I'll start creating like business ideas. Okay, like there's some courses that I'm working on, that kind of thing. So the most important thing that's going to affect your business is your personal frequency, because every single post on Instagram, it's like your aura. People feel it. So if you're like super genuine and super authentic and like your intentions are pure, then just be patient. It's all coming to you. It's all coming to you. You are on your path. You are on your soul path, and you are doing your earth mission. You feel it inside when you're proud of yourself and you're working through layers and you're like setting yourself free of limiting beliefs, and then you're sharing that information vulnerably with others, right? Because we can't just be teachers, we need to be students as well. Because you need to, check that spiritual ego at the door. Keep it humble, folks. We are all equal and we're all walking the same path. That's why it's so important to ask each other questions and be open to other people's opinions. Never put yourself above or below anyone. Don't put people on a pedestal either. So yeah, that's a long way around saying basically your frequency determines everything, including the energy of your feed, including the clients that you're bringing in or not bringing in, right? The clients that I'm bringing in are like my friends. It's like people I would hang out with. Like we have such an easy back and forth, and it's like I feel like I know them. Like it's crazy because I am so unapologetically myself, this completely open book. And I don't just share the wins, I share the things like the failures or the things that I'm working on or the things that I'm struggling with. I'm a real person. And then that's what I attract, right? That was a long answer. Okay, what else do we have here? Licky Orr says, how can one get over the feeling of not being enough or unworthy? So this is about, so you're seeing yourself as the human. You're not seeing the soul underneath. So if you can see yourself through the eyes of your soul, you can give yourself that gift. So this is about zooming out and realizing that you are more than just a human. You are this beautiful eternal soul with magical friggin' lifetimes and a whole team of guides. You have counsels, you have so much more than you know. And every single soul on earth right now is so, so special because we were specifically selected for this mission. And who would be selected to come to earth? Well, the cream of the crop, obviously, but people that are strong, people that are determined, people that have things come at them, like difficult childhoods, difficult relationships, addiction, poverty, all of these things, and they break through. Determined warrior souls who are going to break through the human problems and just keep going. They're never going to stop. The growth never ends, the healing never ends. If you could only see yourself the way that your guides see you, you would be moved to tears. The amount of love and affection that they have for you. It's like your family and your friends. So connecting with your team can really help with self-worth, and then viewing yourself through the eyes of your soul. And that would be through doing the work. So meditating. And are you learning? Are you constantly working on something? You should always know what you're working on. You should never just have a flat time. There's always something to be working on, right? I really believe that. So I always know what I'm working on. There was a time when I was working on healing addiction. Then there was a time when I was working on healing lack mentality. And then it was healing that competitive mindset of feeling like there's not enough for everyone. I need to compete, healing that. There's always what are you working on right now? Are you working on it on a regular basis, getting together with your team, working through your stuff, healing, those kinds of actions make you proud of yourself. And when you're proud of yourself, then you have that self-worth. And when you see yourself through that eyes of the soul, higher perspective, zoomed out perspective, then you're going to see how worthy you are. And then I also just want to say too, make sure that you're not taking in things that are going to lower your frequency into that victim mentality. And that would be things that vibrate low on a vibrational scale. So watch what you're taking in for entertainment. What kinds of shows and movies are you watching, right? Make sure it's something that you want to see in the world and not all violence and gore, or, take a break from the conspiracy theories if you're into that. Take a break from alcohol, drugs, whatever it is, start cleaning up your energy. That really helps too. Hi, Elette. Thank you so much for joining. So good to see you here. Okay, so we're doing a Q&A, Elette. So if you want to pop a question in, please feel free. All right, so we covered that. So the next question that I had from someone was that they had a relative who was being attacked at night, like attacked by low vibrational negative entities, like other beings. So this happens at night because at night we leave our physical bodies and we go into the astral realm. If you've seen my video about two videos, the fourth dimension really describes what's going on in the astral realm and the kinds of people you can run into there. And then also my video, my astral abduction, really, that was a scary video. So of course, if you're not into that kind of thing, don't watch that one because it's really scary. So trigger warning on that, because I just describe exactly the kinds of creatures I saw and what I went through. So I really understand being attacked at night. It happened to me as a kid. It's happened to me as an adult. Definitely not so much since I've been like really working on my frequency. But what I wanted to say, they were asking in this question specifically, is if they can ask Archangel Michael to help that family member or friend like on their behalf. Because maybe that family member or friend doesn't know how to do something like that. Like they wouldn't know to go to Archangel Michael for protection. So can you do it for them? Absolutely you can. Absolutely. Because your intentions are so pure, and what you're asking is not anything that's like disrupting anyone's free will. You're just saying like, can you go please watch over this soul? They're really suffering. Please see what you can do. Absolutely. You can do that. What else you can do though, is you can ask Source. So we talk a lot about communicating with our guides and with angels, but let's not forget that Source is someone that we can communicate with. What really helps is to find a label that works for you, right? Because some people don't like Source, some people like universe, or some people like God, or go even one step further and give your creator, it's like your parent. It's like, it is literally your creator. It's not female or masculine though. So it's both, it's everything, right? So if you don't like God, if you don't like, sorry, my connection just cut out and then came back. I hope you can all still see me. Hello, G. Maurizio. Thank you for joining. Okay, so hopefully everyone can still see and hear me. We lost a few people. Hello, Elra Lyra. Thank you for joining. I struggled with your name last time too. So many L's. So what I'm saying is make sure that you are communicating not only with, hi John, not only with your guides, but making time to communicate with your creator, your source. Now, I am not a religious person, so I do not like the term God because I didn't have a great religious experience. So I call source or my creator what I want to. And for me, it's Baba. And Baba can mean grandmother or grandfather. And so when I go to Baba with any kind of an issue, just like a child would go to a parent, like this isn't working, or I need help with this, or what do you think about this? Whichever I need more, like divine masculine or divine feminine comes through. It'll either be like this grandmother feeling and advice or grandfather. So I leave it open to being what it needs to be or to being both. So you can ask Source to protect your family and friends as well. Like we can go right to the source is what I'm saying. And you can also ask Source to help that friend or family member get the lesson, because this is all happening for a reason. So please, Baba, help my friend so-and-so get the lesson that they need from this experience so that this doesn't keep happening to them. So that is a beautiful way to honor a friend or a family member as well. Hello, Kenzie Killingsworth. So nice to see you. Okay, we've got another question here from Gemini Healer. What helps you ground your multidimensional self into your physical body? So the most powerful thing for me is fresh air and walking, right? Put those two together and it's a miracle. Just going, the simplest solutions are the most powerful, I swear. There is nothing more powerful than a walk outside. It's insane. And again, just like I said with the meditation, don't have distractions. Don't be listening to an audiobook. Don't be on a phone call. Allow what wants to come through to come through. We always have downloads waiting for us. There's always something waiting for you from either your highest self or from a guide or from source, because we're always working on something, are we not? There's always something that we're learning or working on at that time. And if not, then you really need the download, because it's going to like shoot you into your next lesson. Let's always be working on ourselves. There's a download waiting for you all right now. I guarantee it. There is always, as soon as you download that download, they put the next one up and just wait. Like there's always one waiting, so that whenever you're ready, there it is. Aha moments, understanding of self, all of that. You will not get the download if you do not make the space mentally to bring it in. So that is why I love to go for walks, because fresh air also carries, like oxygen, carries information. So as you're breathing deeply in this fresh air, you're even more likely to get that download. I can't tell you how many times I'm in the middle of a walk and I stop and I get my phone out and I start talking into it because I just had the most incredible idea or understanding or something clicked together. So fresh air is so amazing. That is such a bringing spirit down into the body, bringing ideas down into the body. It's all grounding. Other than walking and fresh air, I would say like be with your body, like stretch with your body, move with your body, appreciate your body, hold yourself, love yourself. And then, listen to your intuition. If your intuition is saying you need a nap, take a nap. If your intuition is saying, like mine lately, you need a bunch of carbs and sugar, well, then I'm just gonna probably go with that. And just assume that when the cravings end is when I don't need it anymore. Because again, it's all like bringing me grounded, lowering, making me more dense actually, and bringing me down into my body because there's healing needed. And like, what was I saying at the beginning of this call? I've had a headache for a week straight. So I definitely know that there is not only healing, but huge transformation taking place inside my body right now. My spirit and my body are connecting together into this rainbow warrior being. Because when we ascend, we're taking our bodies with us. We are not just going like the soul, bye. Then why do we come into a human body in the first place? We're not going to just leave our physical selves behind. But this is like very rare and only happens during those golden eras that we talked about before, like Atlantis, Lemuria, Avalon. That is when those beings ascended body as well. Whole society, everything ascended. So is there going to be more growing pains? Yes, because you're not etheric. You're in a physical body and you're upgrading your body. And think about all the fields that we have: energy field, auric field, light body, chakra centers, physical body, consciousness, the soul. Like, oh my God, like go ahead and try and upgrade all of that and not have a headache and not have weird, crazy symptoms too, right? It's just been crazy. Hi, Kenzie. Hi, Monica. It's Monica's Art Boutique. Thank you for joining. John asks, how can you connect to someone else's higher self? So when I am doing readings for people, I use the person's full name, right? So get the full name, like first and last name, doesn't have to be the middle name, but get their name and like tune into their frequency. And then I also, before I call in their team, which would include their higher self, before I do that, I call in Archangel Michael, Archangel Raphael, and a Pleiadian person that I work with named Daniel, who works with like telepathy and connections, and he understands how all of that work. So I've got like a team for my readings. So I'm calling in these 3 people and saying, can you guys please help me to connect with this person to make the information so accurate, like eerily accurate. Let's over deliver and make the visions for me so clear and make everything so loud, like just hyper connect me right now. Side note, very important to close the session properly because of all the things that I do, right? Because if you don't close that session when you're done, it causes all kinds of problems. But so really hyper connected, and then call in the person's team. Okay, I've got like my group, we're all ready to go. And then I call in, like John, if it was you, I would say, I call in the team of John Binney. I call in his higher self, his galactic guides, his spirit animals, and any past lives that are going to need to come through. And all of the information that comes through should be for John's higher self. And here's what I need from you. And then I say, okay, me and John have an energetic exchange. And on my end, here's what I'm going to offer. And then whatever the reading has. Like, you got the complete cosmic reading. So it's like, okay, I'm going to do 3 past lives, 3 guides, messages, and answer 3 questions. So let's start with this. Here's what I need from you. Bring through the past life that is the most important for John right now. What does he need the most? Get really specific with me. I want to tell him everything. What was his name? What did he look like? What was he working on? Who was around him? All of it. And it comes through like a movie. So I see it like a movie, and then I hear the audio, clairaudience is like a soundtrack to hear the sounds and the voices and all of that. Now for me, a reading like that takes a long time. Like the complete cosmic reading is like 5 hours minimum for me. Like it's intense, but that's how detailed it is. And we get all of that information. And then each guide is so detailed. It's like, I want to see you. I always say, step into the light. I want to see what you look like. Because I want to describe you to the client. And okay, once I get what you look like, let's chat for a sec. What does your energy feel like? I'm going to tell them that too. Now, what is the name that you would like me to tell them to use to call on you? And like, remember their names, like it's got to be translated into English, because sometimes it's a weird sound or a visual. And so I'll just say, well, what can they call you? And then we'll get something that they don't mind being called and that they say, like they agree that you can use in the future. And then remember I said you have to close those sessions. Oh yeah, if you don't close a session properly with your team, then you will find yourself so connected to that person long after the reading, and like you start dreaming about them, and it's so weird. So you've really got to remember to close that too. Alik Jennifer says, can you be your fullest spiritual self while working in a corporate job? Absolutely, as long as that job isn't bringing your energy down. Like if you're feeling resentment towards that job or you don't want to be there, then no, you're not your freest self. You need to honor your spirit. And if your spirit doesn't want to be, that's not their truth, then you need to honor your spirit. So for me, like COVID-19 changed my life. I got laid off, and it was the best thing that ever happened to me because I went all in with my business, Starseed Academy. So something that I was doing only part-time now became full-time a year ago, because it's been a year since COVID started, which is crazy. And then my growth like took off because I went all in. And then as soon as I started taking like clients, these one-on-one sessions, these healing sessions, and doing these readings, then the growth went like, it just keeps going and going and going. So are you listening to your spirit? Are you honoring your spirit? Like if you know in your heart that you are meant to be a writer or a singer or a musician and you're working in a corporate job, then you need to start easing yourself into your true purpose or your true desire and passion. So start doing it on the side until you can make that shift. I know it's scary to just quit one and try and start the other. In my case, it happened because, COVID-19, that's why I said it was a blessing. Like, I don't know if I would have had that same courage. I mean, I was trying to do it on the side, but it would have taken longer. And then here I was thrown into it, which is so cool. So make sure that you are making real efforts towards your passions. And then how does that corporate job make you feel, right? Do you feel good? Do you feel like yourself? Can you be your authentic self there? Can you talk about spirituality and spiritual awakenings? And are there people there that accept you for you? And if not, then that's not the right place, right? Sama Joe says, have you ever had a reading where the person's team didn't want any past lives to be revealed yet? No, that's never happened. Nope. If you have like hundreds of lifetimes and some people thousands, then they can throw me 3, right? They can throw me a bone, and they really want you to know, because the lifetimes that come through a lot of them need healing. And if you're trying to like raise your vibration, then all of that density is still in your soul. You can't just heal your childhood, which is the first thing that we do and most important, heal that childhood. So important. And then naturally you will move into having past lives. reveal themselves to be healed. That's how it works. Heal the childhood first, and then you'll be given the past lives. But if somebody comes to me for past lives, then there's past lives that need healing. Or if it's a beautiful, gentle past life, then it just reaffirms to that person that they truly are an eternal soul. And that this blip on that soul journey, this blip here is just the earth experience, but there were many lifetimes, and it's not everything, and you don't need to take it so seriously, and you can have fun, and you can enjoy the earth experience and know that it's not everything. It's not the end. And you get to choose. Like, how fun if you read about a past lifetime and you're like, I want to go there again. That sounded cool. Yay, you get to choose that. That's all up to you, baby. You get to choose your soul incarnations. You get to choose your soul contracts. It's all free will. John says, me too, so much craving right now. Oh, I'm so glad I'm not the only one. But you're better than me because you only eat fruit and I eat the real treats, and it's bad. Kenzie Killingsworth says, how do you disconnect? Do you mean from a reading like I was talking about? Or do you mean like disconnect from like social media? What do you mean with that? John says, and it was amazing, life-changing reading. Thank you. Thank you so much, John. Thank you. I'm so grateful that you said that. I had such an incredible experience today with someone. I feel like my accuracy is like, well, everything is growing, right? We're growing, right? So it's okay to say that. I'm not tooting my own horn, but I feel like my accuracy is like growing and growing and growing. Like my psychic gifts are growing. I had someone tell me, like, because always they'll reply. When I send the reading through email, a couple of days later I get a reply, and it's usually like paragraphs long, which is amazing because I love to understand how you're taking it in. And I don't know if something is accurate because I'm not you. I can only give all these details and just trust. And then I got an email today from this beautiful client, and she said, I do not understand how you could know any of that. In her past life, her partner was an architect, and they had some issues of clashing with like personalities and him being like a little bit overbearing and opinionated. This is past life. Architect, an overbearing, very opinionated personality. So in that past life, she would do things like she painted the front door of the house like a bright color when he was away. So, and then to feel like she had her own say in things. And then he came back, and of course he was upset. And she's just like, well, the house needed cheering up. And just goes about, like, doesn't engage in an argument, just starts asserting herself in these ways. Like, I am also a part of this partnership. I also have opinions, and I'm going to do things, and you can't control everything, right? So this client in real life now says to me, my partner's an architect. Okay, first thing, yes, there's some stuff going on there with like a very opinionated soul. And you know what I did? I painted the closet while he was away one weekend because I knew that he wouldn't let me if he was home, so I just did it. You tell me that is not spirit coming through for you, right? Like, that's so beautiful. Your team gave me that information to confirm for you in this life that you are right on track, and you damn well better paint that closet. And like, I mean, how do we repeat these patterns? Like an architect? Like, wow, you've got a type too, clearly. Such a cool thing to hear though. I love hearing from past clients about their experiences with the readings, and then also with the healings. Like, part of my healing is reconnecting psychic gifts. And I had someone tell me in the last session that as I took their clairaudience and like connected it into their pineal gland, because that's very important, they heard this huge like boom, like something landed. It was so cool. Hello, Seeking Truth. Thank you for joining. Hello, Denise Jacqueline. Thank you for joining. Hello, Spiritual Vibes. So Jerry has a question. How to disconnect from a reading, please? So to disconnect from a reading, I use Archangel Michael. First, I thank everyone. Oh my gosh, thank you so much, right? So I say, thank you so much to so-and-so, like the client name. I use the client name a lot. Thank you so much to Amanda Jones's team. Thank you so much for coming through for her. I really appreciate everything that you did. And I'm going to close the session now. So thank you again. Now, Archangel Michael, please dissolve these energetic connections so that we can all go our separate ways without being attached to one another unnecessarily. So anything that is not for the highest good of me and for this team, just dissolve that. And then it's like a breath of fresh air. Elra Lyra says, recently one of my bully childhood teachers passed away. my inner child started a fight with all those connected to that person. It was a totally healing experience. Wow. That's amazing. I'm so sorry that they were like a bully to you, and I'm sorry that you experienced that, but I am certain that that experience strengthened your soul and gave you so much courage. And now look, your inner child is getting that like closure that they need. It is amazing. John says, in my corporate day job, I set my phone directory description as my soul mission. And it says, to raise the loving vibrations of billions of hearts through song every day. And I love how you say billions and not millions, because let's go big. Like, you are an all-in kind of guy, just like I'm an all-in kind of person. So, and that's when results happen, right? You've got that purity of intent. That's very important, purity of intent. And you've got the authentic, where you're being yourself. You don't just share the wins, but you've got to share what you're working on and your struggles. And then you're just going all in big with billions. Love it so much. Hi, Angel Whispers 444. It's so nice to see you. Thank you for joining. Is there any other questions? How long have we been on here? Last time we got out of control. Let me see. Oh yeah, we're over an hour again. Doesn't that fly? See, when I go over an hour, then I can't post it to Instagram. Does anybody know how to get around that? Because I tried to repost the last Galactic guidance and I could not, because it was over an hour and it said nothing over 60 minutes. And I'm like, that's so silly. You're driving. Be careful if you're driving and listening to this. Excuse me. So I will post it on YouTube, because a lot of you are over on YouTube anyway. So you can just come over on YouTube. Hi, FemLove Academy. So nice to see you here. So yes, I'll repost it on YouTube, because again, we went over the allowed size, length, whatever, Instagram. We're going to talk however long we want to talk. So I've answered wow, this is so much more productive than the last time. I answered all the questions that came in like prior, and I think I answered all the questions you guys put here in this little question box. Yes, I did. Does anybody else have any questions before we go? Does anybody want to share what they're working on right now? I can start. So right now I'm working on embodying more of the divine feminine essence. So that's really difficult for women when that whole side of ourselves has been really shut down. And it's because you have to feel safe in your body and in the world to be that divine feminine essence. So through past experiences, through childhood or through relationships that have made us feel unsafe, what we do is we step into our divine masculine, because the divine masculine is about, I'm going to protect myself. I can take care of me. I don't need to rely on anyone. I've got this. Like, I don't need anyone. Like, I'm going to take care of me. It's all action and goals, and I'm going to like support myself, all these things. We step into a divine masculine role even as women, because we do not feel safe to be that soft, vulnerable, open aspect, that divine feminine. So check out my latest post on Instagram for more about the divine feminine and why we're being called to show up in this way. Because we are being called by Gaia, by our higher self, by our guides, to embody and offer up more divine feminine. Because it's the women who are going to bring the balance back, right? Because if the masculine energy has been overarching and then the women come up and then we just make it's equality and it's oneness, and that's what the world needs now. So we need to like be raised up, and the divine masculine can help us do that by listening to us, taking us seriously, making time for us, helping us feel supported. You can support us with your energy and your words and your actions, and it's all so needed, and we are so grateful when you do. Each one of us feels that. So really trying to work on stepping more into that vulnerable, softer energy. And it's a struggle, but I love that because I found something inside of me to heal. Another layer, always working on stuff. Okay, so I've got from Sama Joe, I have no experience on IG, but someone mentioned something about being able to do it from the archives. Okay, I'll Google that. Thank you. I don't know what that means, so well, neither do I. I'm not going to pretend like I do. So yes, because after I just, like, it says, do I want to save the live? And I save it, and then you go to like post it and it says it's too long. So I'm not really sure what to do about that. Okay, so I guess that's it. If nobody else has any more questions, we've definitely been over an hour, so I'm going to call it for today. I want to thank you again for such a beautiful turnout. Remember to come back every Tuesday, 2 p.m. Eastern Standard, so whatever that means for you, and we'll chat for like an hour. And I'm more than happy to answer your questions, but please remember too that you're more than welcome to join me. So next week, feel free to hit that little request to join button. Come on, be brave. Come on live with me. Come on camera. And I can do some guidance on any area of your life. So this is what my clients would get to experience in like a one-on-one session where they want to talk about like their job or their relationships or whatever. And I can offer some like real, like down to earth, practical steps and guidance. So I look forward to doing that next week. So thank you all so much. Thank you, thank you. Before we go, I want to remind you, listen to your heart and the quiet voice within, because you are so much more than the body you are in. Thank you so much. Have a beautiful day. Bye.